Yo, 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 yo. Let me make sure my mic is working. Mic check, mic check. Seems like it's working pretty good. It's your boy Nick here, Breaking Bad Boxing, here to discuss a little bit of fights yesterday here. We have a few different things that went down yesterday here from good scraps, bad scraps, robberies. Of course, in the state of boxing, you're always going to have quite a few robberies. Holy hell, the way that light shining off makes my mustache look pretty incredible, I have to say. Now we look like a neo-noir pick, to say the least. So we're going to work on this lighting scenario. But once we get that lighting scenario taken care of here, let's see, maybe something like... Yeah, we're just going to stick with this lighting then in this case, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, anyways, boxing yesterday, man. You had a lot of things happening here. You had, let's start off with top to bottom. Usyk versus Dubois. Man, Alexander Usyk, man. What can you say about him? Top 10 heavyweight of all time, greatest cruiserweight of all time. Possibly arguing to put himself in the top 5 heavyweights of all time, too, as well. Finishing Dubois twice, beating Joshua twice, beating Fury twice. Just an incredible and an impeccable run here. If they give him Joseph Parker next and he beats Joseph Parker next, then we're going to be talking in the top 5 discussion and top 5 territory specifically. Usyk's just like that, man. In 2 separate divisions, he is a pound-for-pound great, to say the bare minimum. If not, he is the pound-for-pound greatest. So as of right now, he is number 1 pound-for-pound. We also saw another pound-for-pound great yesterday with Bam Rodriguez. Bam Rodriguez is in with, I don't want to necessarily say a tough fight with Palama Kafu, because Kafu definitely boxed to an interesting game plan. He continuously neutralized himself in his own corner, in every single corner, essentially, trying to play an anti-ropey dope game where he really didn't. He had good upper body movement. Some decent counters in there too. We saw as well. You clipped Bam with a right hand that didn't rock Bam or anything of that nature, but definitely got him clipped and got his attention a few times. Kafu also had some moments of working the body that I was really impressed with. Overall, Kafu's a fighter that I've always been, overall pretty impressed with. I think Nathan Collins is a hell of a trainer to have in his corner specifically. I think he put up a valiant effort. Killed my ticket of having Bam Rodriguez by decision. What were we, about 4.5 minutes away from cashing that? I guess 6.5 pending because it was round 10. But once Bam gets going, man, he's a hell of an operator. He has some of the best angle shifts and movements in the game, if not the best angle shifts and movements in the game. He's a levels puncher. He punches both volume, body, and up top too, specifically. He's smart, man. He has good fight IQ. He downloads in the ring, and he learns as the fight goes on. You saw it in the first few rounds with Kafu, he wasn't having trouble in any standards, but he was definitely having moments of, okay, I'm thinking here, trying to download and see what this Kafu guy's doing. He keeps neutralizing himself in his own corner, not necessarily utilizing much movement, quite frankly, at all, not really making him work, and kind of shelling into a position to where he was only having limited in the shot selections that he could have. But once Bam started picking his shots, that fight really was never close, quite frankly. He's a pound-for-pound talent. The Puma fight's going to be completely different. I can promise you all that. Puma's going to walk forward. He's going to walk into shots. I can see Bam stopping Puma a little bit earlier. I do rate Puma, but I kind of rate Puma kind of on the similar level of Kafu. They're just different styles of boxers. Kafu's a little bit more awkward. I think he has a little bit better ring IQ than someone like Puma. I think Puma definitely hits harder, has better cardio, and he marauders forward. So those are kind of like how I kind of level it out. But I do think Puma's going to walk into something that's going to cause Bam to cause a pretty shocking and viral knockout, if I may say so myself. Because the win versus Kafu yesterday was extremely incredible, extremely impressive, but not as viral as a lot of people would have wanted it to be. So we had 2 pound-for-pound greats go at it yesterday, and Usyk and Bam Rodriguez both getting finishes. Quite frankly, just showing that the levels at which they're at. If we're talking about Bam versus Nakatani, that's a very interesting fight, because then you would have, excuse me, Bam moving up a weight class here. Nakatani probably could be his last fight at 118. That would be a true super fight too, to say the bare minimum. I think people are jumping the gun a little bit too early talking about Bam versus Inoue. That is a hell of a jump. And if we were talking about Bam versus Inoue now, I think Inoue would stop Bam at 8. Hell of a levels puncher, too big, too strong, too athletic. That's just my personal opinion on that fight. But Nakatani versus Bam, man. Bam has some holes. Or not Bam, I'm sorry. Nakatani has holes that can be exploited. And what I mean by that is he gets lackadaisical in his defense. He can float with his defense by backing up straight backing up in a straight line. When he's not on the offensive powerless exactly here, he has moments of lolling and not throwing off enough volume. These are very few things that Nakatani does negatively, because Nakatani is a pound for pound great too as well. But I think Bam versus Nakatani would be a hell of a super fight. And I think people favoring Bam wouldn't necessarily be crazy for that. I don't think I would favor Bam necessarily. I would still take Nakatani, but that's a fight that I would love to see, man. And it wouldn't even be that crazy of a jump, man. I mean, 115 to 118 would be a hell of a jump. I mean, not that big of a jump is what I'm saying, but it would make for one of the best, if not the best, super fights that you can make today. So yeah, Mario Barrios versus Manny Pacquiao. Man, that's a tough break for Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, his first step looked pretty phenomenal. I was actually quite surprised by how good his first step looked at 46 years old. I don't like accusing anyone of juicing, even though I am a firm believer that all of our favorite fighters are juicing. But to be that age and to explode like the way he was, it's hard for me not to believe that he wasn't on some sort of sauce. Mario Barrios was doing fuck all in there, especially for the first 6 rounds. I don't know. He had zero lack of urgency. It seemed like he was truly polarized by the star-studded nature that was Manny Pacquiao specifically. Being the younger, fresher leg, surprised he didn't get him out of there. You would think Barrios by decision was going to be the ticket of the week, but man, a lot of people got hoed by that draw, because either way they would have lost, because Manny Pacquiao probably deserved the fight. But, PBC going PBC, right? So makes me sad to see Tim Tszyu too as well. Tim Tszyu get smashed the way he did against Sebastian Fundora. I said on my Twitter a few times that I lean Seb, mostly because of the damage that Tim has taken. It's hard to look past the damage that Tim has taken. That damage is absolutely incredible. It's insane how I don't necessarily even blame the elbow cut for what has been the derailing of Tim Tszyu since then. I believe it's his lack of cornering, his corner not pulling him out of that first fight versus Fundora after the cut, making it a no contest, giving him the proper time to heal. Instead, his management and his corner let him stay in that fight, go to a 12-round war, which could have possibly wore down his chin. And then he goes and fights someone like Bakhramov, who, with the most simple fundamentals of a left hook and a 1-2 down the pipe, destroyed Tim Tszyu's confidence, destroyed his chin, unfortunately. And then we saw Sebastian Fundora just take the amalgamation of that, hit him with the pipe right down the middle and rocked him to the chin. You got to really respect what Sebastian Fundora is doing, man. Him at 154 is a real problem for anybody. Even if you look at his loss against Brian Mendoza, where he did get knocked out, he was completely up on that fight every single round comfortably until he got lackadaisical on his defense. Sebastian Fundora, man, there's a lot of fights you can make at 154 with him. I mean, you have guys from Virgil Ortiz, Sergey Boachuk. People are talking about Boots. I think Boots may be an interesting fight, but I know Boots is going to probably want a step-up fight, a tune-up fight, to say the least, when he's moving up to the division too, to say the least. 154 is fucking stacked, man. You have a lot of good fun fighters there too as well. And then, of course, you have Bakram. Quite frankly, man, if Boots really wants to make a name for himself, and I think a super biddable fight for him to enter the 154 division and win a title off rips, is the Bakram fight. If that was a chance that they can make him, I mean, he could be a mandatory, since the fact that he has in the same sanctioning body the 147 title, so he can jump up, be the number one contender automatically. Why not make the Bakram versus Boots fight? Boots would dance around the ring, fight all over him. I think Bakram is way too simple and unpolished, in my opinion, to beat a guy like Boots. And Boots could show that he could take the power, and then you have a lot of unification fights that you can come from there. So those are just kind of my thoughts there on 154. 154 is super exciting. It was really tough to see Tim go out the way he did, because he's someone that you would never think would ever quit on a stool. But damn, man, management, poor decision-making by his team had just led him to just a really tough run here. I don't know if it's the end of it for him. I really hope it is the end of it for him. There's no need for him to go and box again. Who is he going to box now at this point? Go box the Keith Thurmans of the world and things of that nature? I mean, like, that's a winnable fight, I guess. But I mean, besides that, who are we really talking about here that he's going to box next? So I would like to see him hang it up personally. Unless you have someone like, it would be actually a fun, like, unretirement fight, which is pretty funny to me, is if Earl Spence and Tim Tszyu got down. The damage goods war. That would be a good boxing match, actually. So sorry, I got Cottonmouth from hell. Shouldn't have hit the bowl this early. So Joet Gonzalez versus Brandon Figueroa. What a fucking robbery, man. I saw people discoursing online saying, look at Joet Gonzalez's face. How could he have won that fight? Brother, you score fights by a 10-round must system, meaning that every single round is scored individually. So there are 12 fights within a totality of a 12-round fight, essentially. And then we add up the accumulation of all of those fights, making a total number, right? Joet Gonzalez clearly won 7-5 and a strong argument for 8-4. And it really wasn't hard to score at all. Anyone with, Ray Charles could have scored that fucking fight. And the fact that they gave him, when I heard the scorecards, unanimous decision, 115 to 113 and 2 to 116s to 112, I knew for a fact. I was so confident. That's Joet Gonzalez. Everyone with eyes knew it. Even everyone on Twitter, surprisingly, Twitter was in conjunction knowing that it was the truth too as well. And when they said the heartbreak kid for Brandon Figueroa, oh, bro, it was a gut punch. Gut punch, man. Like, boxing corruption just gets away with it again. Joet Gonzalez is always in close fights and he deserves some of these close wins. But, man, that one was fucking tough. He did all the work he needed to do. He was landing the sharper punches. Yes, he lost rounds 9 through 12. I agree. Those were Figueroa rounds. But every other round should have been his. And even if he would have run round 12, the best he wouldn't even have gotten a draw. He would have gotten a draw on one card and it would still been 115, 113 to Brandon Figueroa. Just absolute corruption amongst the judging. And it's one of those things where it's like, I always like to tell people when it comes to boxing betting, man, tread a very careful line because of that fucking corruption, man. It is absolutely insane, the corruption that we see in boxing betting. And it's the reason why a lot of people are turned off from it. But then people are like, that's why I watch MMA. Brother, it's not like you have much better in MMA. We're talking about Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, that robbery just 2 weeks ago that was absolutely gut-wrenching here. There was no real robberies yesterday. I mean, really, there weren't too many decisions to call for yesterday on the UFC card just in general. Pretty good banger of a card. I will say, in the most casual sense, the only fight I missed yesterday of all of MMA and boxing, because I had 3 screens up, is I missed Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway. So I'm going to wait till I can wait for it to either come up on YouTube or wait for them to drop it for free so I can rewatch that one, because I'm pretty ashamed to say I was pretty bummed out yesterday. I got fucked bad. I really thought Bam by decision was a hammer spot, which I did hammer, unfortunately. And then I hammered Joet Gonzalez live multiple times. And the fact that they fucked him was just absolutely incredible, man. You just got to love it. You got to love it. So that shit put me in a bad mood. So I didn't watch the Dustin Poirier fight, which, may not have been the best decision. Anyone that was on the live chat yesterday too, as well, I did say I was really confident in Paulo Costa winning too, as well. Paulo Costa looked damn good, man. I mean, he looked good against a B-level fighter because I don't rate Roman Kopylov very high. I think he has gas tank issues, and I think he's really a one-trick pony when it comes to spamming the body kick. Beyond that, though, man, I mean, yesterday was a good day for combats. Yesterday was just overall just a good day for combat. A lot of good scraps, a lot of people coming at it, man. One thing I do want to talk about, though, is Manny Pacquiao's fight kit. Holy shit, that was the worst fight kit I've possibly have ever seen. What is up with these Filipinos having no swag? It's like Nonito Donair's fight kit versus Inoue in the Super Series fight was like the worst fight kit I've ever seen. And then Manny Pacquiao comes in wearing whatever the fuck that was. Brother, you're on your first world stage at 46. Swag out a little bit. We got to talk about the Bam Kafu Jesse Rodriguez fight kits. Both them boys were looking sick. Kafu with the matching hair, matching gloves. And then you had Bam with his signature pink and cheetah shorts. So sick, bro. So fucking sick, man. I love boxing, man. Boxing is the shit. Even with some of the corruption and bullshit in it, man. You just got to love it as a sport just in general. My dog's over here choking on something. I think it's like a toy or a bone. But yeah, man. So I don't know. Those are just some of my first and foremost thoughts too as well. Michael Johnson turned back the clock too as well. He looked really damn good against Daniel Zellhuber. I was really impressed with him against Daniel Zellhuber. Boxing is always crisp and sharp. How fast are his hands even at this age, man? The genetics that man has. If he was put in like an NFL style body, he's probably an NFL cornerback. What a guy, man. Michael Johnson, man. What a hell of an athlete. Great win. Well-deserved win, too, as well here. The fact that Daniel Zellhuber was the second biggest favorite on that card is absolutely laughable, and I feel bad for anyone that had him parlayed because holy shit, man. that's a tough beat and a tough boom for anyone to take here. So, but yeah, what do we do next now? Now that Max Holloway has beaten Dustin Poirier, what do you do next? You know what fight I want to see? I want to see Arman Tsarukyan versus Max Holloway. I would love to see Arman Tsarukyan versus Max Holloway. I think Max Holloway is someone that has underrated takedown defense. Not underrated boxing. He has really good 1-2 game, great chin. He does well against kickers too as well, which Arman is. I would love to see that fight, man. Let's put two cardio machines together. Let's see if Arman can get his wrestling game plan and his movement game plan off on Max Holloway. Let's see if Max Holloway can outvolume the hell out of Arman while staying safe, staying out of Arman's clinch and things of that nature. I would love that fight, man. Max Holloway versus Arman Tsarukyan is a fight that I would love to see. Paulo Costa could fight the winner of Jared Cannonier versus MVP. I would love to see Paulo Costa versus the winner of Jared Cannonier versus MVP. You could even do the loser of a Jared Cannonier MVP, depending on where the rankings are and how you feel about where you rank Paulo Costa. I think Paulo Costa matched up with either one of those guys would be absolutely insane. Probably get off a few racist tweets as well. Be also insane. Hashtag hating black coffee. So yeah, those are a few matches that I wouldn't mind seeing. Michael Johnson called out Max Holloway, which I found pretty hilarious here. We can do Michael Johnson versus Michael Chandler. Let's do the Mike versus Mike scrap. Why not do the Mike versus Mike scrap? Mike Johnson versus Dan Hooker is a fun fight. Mike Johnson versus Dan Hooker is also a fun fight too as well. So, yeah, man. I mean, these are just some thoughts. I mean, if there's anyone in the chat, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Let me know if you killed it yesterday, if you beat the books, if the books beat you. I won't be staying on this live for too long here. I'm just trying to make it to where I'm doing it every few days or so, at least just kind of making the presence known, making a little bit of build, fucking up the algorithm a little bit. I have to go see I Know What You Did Last Summer with my niece and my mom here in about an hour and a half. So I'm pretty excited about that. Not for the movie, mostly just to see them because I know the movie is going to be mid-level to say the least. Big movie guy here. I know it's Breaking Bad boxing, but shit, it can be Breaking Bad films too as well because Crispy Chris made $100. So I was happy if Barrios would have did what he did supposed to do. I would have made, man. Hey, thank you for being in here too, Chris. I appreciate you just listening to me ramble, quite frankly, man. Glad you came up actually yesterday, man. I was pretty bummed out after going down versus the Joette Gonzalez, what I consider to be a robbery. I hate using that term in closer fights, but I don't feel like that fight was too close, easy to score. The fact that, see, I was also on Jesse by decision. I had Bam Rodriguez by decision at plus 340, and I had $100 on it. So I would have made 340 on it too as well. Shit, bum me the hell out, man, for real. So what is with Barrios, the fact that he just was lackadaisical in there, did absolutely nothing in the first 8 rounds, it felt like. It felt like you honestly, it's on some scorecards in some worlds, you could have gave it 7-1 to Pacquiao going into those final rounds. I did think Barrios won pretty clearly rounds 10 through 12, but everything else from there, I just don't know what the fuck he was doing. He was like, I think it was truly being lost in the gaze. Hey, I appreciate that too, man. Thank you for joining the breakdowns, man, just listening to them in general. I'm going to just try to be live and just drop my thoughts. What I'm going to start doing, though, are YouTube shorts, just a few YouTube shorts just to give for upcoming fights and thoughts, just, you know, little quick snippets of 30 to 40 seconds just to give people what I think on these upcoming bouts. And then I'll give actual prediction videos once a week. That's kind of what I'm trying to do here. Just give an actual prediction video once a week of like actual plays and bets that I like. Because the one thing about the sport of boxing is, as we all know, beyond just being a fan of the sport, there is a lot of money to be made. The books, it's not like MMA. The books don't know how to gauge these fighters yet. They either make someone way too big of a favorite or they don't make someone a good enough dog. And then on top of that, they're not good at gauging props. For example, Diego Pacheco yesterday. Diego Pacheco by decision was plus 380. That is fucking dog shit. And the fact that, honestly, Kafu was close to going to decision, plus 330, even the over-under on that fight opened up at over 6.5. And then it ended at 7.5. That is insane over-unders. Like, these books don't know how to gauge these boxing. And at this point, I don't know if it's due to corruption or if I just don't know if they don't know what they're watching. You got the game plan. Just stay consistent and follow Mitchell Clum. Hey, I appreciate that, man, for real, man. Like, genuinely appreciate the hell out of it, man. all we can do is try to stay consistent. And honestly, man, I'm not even here to make the biggest following, things of that nature. I just don't really have anyone to talk boxing or MMA with. Like, all my homies are very casual sports fans, to say the bare minimum. So it's nice just to get on here and chop it up with people that actually like the sport as much as I do. I mean, come on now. Combat sports is just the way to go. I love ball. I'm super excited for football to come back. But, man, combat sports, and it's no seasons for combat sports, is one of the best thing as well. You always have it, whether it's throughout the weekends, whether it's MMA on Saturdays, boxing on Fridays, boxing on Saturdays. Shit, you even have those offbeat Australia cards that are on Wednesdays. That's why it's so very, it's just interesting. My favorite type of boxing even is Japanese boxing, where you can catch it at fucking Tuesday and Wednesday mornings at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. before going to work, just depending on how you wake up and things of that nature. So, but before I do get out of here, because I wasn't going to stay on too long, is there any one fight, any one topic you would like to discuss before I get out of here? Anything that's even upcoming? Just curious, just because I'm going to be going live, not tomorrow, but I'll be going live Tuesday, West Coast time, so Pacific Standard Time at 7 p.m. I'll be doing that on Tuesday, and I'll be doing the same on Thursday. So Tuesday and Thursday lives, 7 p.m. That way I don't have practice, and that way I can, just make sure that I have clear mind. So hopefully we can do that. And then I'll be trying to drop one video weekly, at least on Friday. So kind of just my thoughts on my game plan. Regardless, man, I appreciate you being in here and chopping it up, especially since the fact that I'm just essentially just chopping it, man. So appreciate it for real, man. With that being said, Chris, thanks again, man. I'm going to get on out of here. I'll leave this posted up here, and then I'll be giving I'll be live Tuesday, 7 p.m., and I'll be live here Thursday again, man. Have a great day, y'all. Thank you, Chris. Later, brother.